One, two. Oh, welcome one, welcome all. RT Bear here, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. I am a 40-year comic book veteran. I have worked for mainly Marvel and DC, but I did a little stint, small little stint, with an upstart company called Image Comics. Hey, I've been around. I have been around. Good career so far, and now I'm here. I'm on YouTube now, hanging out with you guys. So as always, you guys, these shows depend on you. So give me a sign of life in the chat. Ooh. I think my wife's home. That was the dog. She went grocery shopping. So yeah, we're going to try something new today. We are going to try something new. I had suggestions of from the vault. I post from time to time, like from the T-Bear vault, and so I'll grab a piece of like old artwork and I'll post it up. And you guys seem to really enjoy seeing some stuff from the past. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys like it, hopefully you like it. If you do, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and tweet this thing out, and all that other good stuff. Tell your friends and neighbors that I'm going to grab stuff from the T-Bear Vault, and we're going to go over it for an hour or so, and I'll give you my thoughts and kind of some behind the scenes, blow by blow takes on what it was like to put these books together. So this week's show is going to be Action Comics. They're like the 900 run, all the way up to like issue 1000, I think. And this is I've done bits and pieces of runs on Action Comics in the past, like in the day. I did periodical, like every once in a while I would do like a fill-in issue or something like that. And then I did a whole slew of, I believe it was Action Comics pencils and inks for the covers. So I did a year, I believe, run of cover work for Action Comics. And then a few years back, I got hired again to work on Action Comics and to work with Dan Jurgens again, who is the writer, and this time penciling is Steven Segovia. So Steven Segovia was on pencils, and of course I was inking that bad boy. So it was good fun. Had a ball working on it, and I got some pages saved here for you guys. I'm going to show some stuff off. I think I'm going to need these glasses because I'm having a hard time. Oh, seeing. I thought I would look better without them. I think I look better without them. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So we got Oni 64. Shout out to the Woodlands. Yeah, right back at you, Oni. Good place to live. Shop. What do they call it? Work, shop, and play, or something like that. But yeah. So there was this fun thing I got to show you guys. This is oh my. What's the guy's name? I'm gonna get it wrong. What's his name? Mead Slayer, or yeah, Mead Slayer, I think is his name. And he did these AI versions of the Kings. And if you guys don't know, there's a show. It's a weekly show that Ethan Van Sciver hosts. And it's called The Kings. And so professionals, like I guess veterans of the comic book industry, go on, and I guess for the sake of the couple hours that were there, were referred to as kings, and we just kind of hang out and have a good time, talk about comic books. And so this Mead Slayer, I guess he's been putting these videos together, these AI videos where like some of the CG artists and stuff like that do a scene from, I don't know, Star Trek, different things. And so he put together like all the kings. I didn't know there were that many kings. There's probably like 10 of us now. And he actually used AI and made us up like kings. And it's pretty funny. Some of it's flattering, some of it's kind of weird. Oh, we got Blackjack in the house. Ex-Woodlander back in SoCal. Yeah, I did the opposite. I went from SoCal to the Woodlands. So we got Kunto hair, and he's got some eyes on. Got some eyes on you. So yeah, let me see if I got that queued up. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to show this off. This is the AI version of the kings. Well, of me. I'm sure all of the other kings are posting their own stuff up. Wait a minute. That is not it. How? That's weird. Usually works. Huh. I don't know why this isn't working. Choose what you want to share with StreamYard. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me cancel this and try it again. Screen sharing has canceled. Make sure. Okay. Sorry about this, you guys. This thing usually works like clockwork. Screen share, screen share. Okay. I'm gonna try something else. That is really strange. Because it's there. It's just not sharing. Share screen. Window. Chrome tab. Windows. Share audio, share tab, screen instead. Oh my gosh, I might have to close out. It's like the old days. I don't know why this is doing this. Without this, I don't have a show. Entire screen. That is really strange. It's showing. Choose what the site will be able to see contents of your screen. I'm not really good with this on the fly. Camera, audio, virtual background recordings, hotkeys, layouts, settings. It's weird. This is really strange. Present. Screen share. Don't show these tips again. This is really strange, you guys. I apologize. Yeah, it won't share. It won't share my Photoshop with you guys. So what I usually do is I download stuff to Photoshop, and then I'll click on the Photoshop and share it with you. And then I can move through the artwork. So it's not letting me do that now with Photoshop. That is weird. Well, I might have to just do a Q&A and scratch this thing because it is not working. I will try it one more time. I don't see anything. Video file, extra camera, video file, slides, share screen. Yeah, it will not allow me to share, also share audio. That's strange. Once again, I apologize. I'm just going to click it. Nah, see, it'll be a screen in a screen. That's really strange. I apologize, you guys. This usually works like clockwork. Something has changed with my StreamYard, so I'm not sure what's going on. So what I'll do is any questions in the chat, just let me know, and I'll answer those. what I was going to do with the show, I'm not going to be able to do because it is not sharing my Photoshop, which is strange. But I think I have figured out a way to show off the king's image. Let me see. Okay, let's see if this works. Yes. All right. So here is the king image that I was telling you guys about. So this is I think his name is Seed Slay. Scene. What did I say? Mead. It was Mead Slayer. I am sorry. I'm all frazzled right now. So this was Mead Slayer. He put these AI versions of all the kings together. And so this is King Arthur. I thought it came out pretty cool. I think it's weird when you have glasses on, though. Like some of the other guys had glasses as well. So I guess the AI just goes with the images that are fed in. But wow, look at that armor. Very fancy. Very fancy. So I look like here, like a very wise king. You know, but firm, but tough. You know, probably have seen a lot of shit in the past, and now is just kind of you know, his later years on the throne, showing off his fancy armor. I don't know, like that. Is that a scepter or a spear? I don't know what that is. It looks too fancy to be a spear, but I guess you could use that as a spear. But yeah, this is pretty flattering. It's pretty strange. I can't put too much stock in it. You know, it's kind of fun. It's kind of weird, but like I said, it's flattering at the same time. So yeah, you guys, that's Mead Slayer that put those together. And so what I wrote in my tweet was, for the new king to rise, the old must fall, and then I ... Well, I'm still standing. So so that's that. So you guys ask me some questions and we'll get through this live stream. Hello to the great Mr. T Bear. Thank you. A past master has made it. Oil. Yeah, if I oil this thing, maybe it'll work. Well-read comics. Hey, Art, been a while. I've got Black and White too. We'll do a review soon. Oh, awesome. Yeah, let me know and I'll promote it. Only if it's a good review. Hopefully it'll be a good review. So Past Master says oodles of doodles and other stuff too. This is a link to the pre-launch. So you guys click on that, go sign up, and you'll be eligible for the exclusive mini print that with a backing you will get absolutely free for signing up. Paula says, hail. So once again, you guys, I apologize. We'll try to get through this. Magic Staff. Yeah, the Magic Staff. We got Edwin the Ace. Hail peeps. Let me see. Hail Art T Bear. How have you been? Hope you are doing well today and have a nice weekend. Yeah, you as well, Nighthawk Warrior Comics. Man, I'm gonna have to change the title of this live stream. I'll have to. I can't even call it like Morning Hollow Blue because it's not morning anymore. What a cluster F. I started off with good intentions. Yeah, I don't know why it's not sharing my Photoshop. It shares everything else, but it's not. StreamYard, I should say, is not sharing my Photoshop, which is absolutely bizarre. This is weird. Very, very strange. But like I said, I will answer questions. We'll get through this. It'll probably be a short stream. So no Action Comics, you know, conversation. No Steven Segovia. No Dan Jurgens stuff. Although it was a blast working with those guys, and I really wanted to work all the way up to issue 1000. So that's what we were working towards. And Dan ended up making it all the way, Dan Jurgens, but Stephen and I did not. So we did not work on that issue 1000, which I was a little sad about. That would have been cool, because basically all the big Superman moments, I was there. So like the engagement, the death of, like the countdown to Doomsday, that stuff. I didn't work on the death of Superman, but I did work on the Doomsday escalation or countdown or whatever it was called. Apex Comics, hail RT Bear. I can share this though. Let me see. Well, before I actually say I can share this, I should check. Oh my God. What a horrible, horrible. Okay, yes. Thank you. So you should be seeing this. This is a work in progress, you guys. This is the Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. This is not the sign-up page. This is the actual launch page. So this is the Indiegogo site. So I'm still putting it together. Pamela and I are going to go over the written stuff, but basically all the bones, the layout, the artwork is all in place. So this is going to be the image. I don't have a video, so in lieu of a video, this will be the image. We got the main cover here. So this is the art of RT Bear, Oodles of Doodles, and other stuff too. So this is a alternate version of Whitney Sung, aka White, and she's just destroyed all these bots. Colors by the really good colors, Thomas Mason. And so, it's not, it was glitching there. So then we got the dimensions here, 60 pages of glossy stock paper. This book is top quality. This book is expensive to print, and this will be the second printing. This is going to be like a new version of the book. So even if you back the original, there's going to be a lot of new pages and a lot of new artwork in this book. And there's a couple new pages. There's 2 new pages in this book as is, or at least that's planned. So here's an example of some of the interior pages. So these are 2 of the new pages that I put together for this version, second printing of Oodles of Doodles. And so we got what's his name? Captain Kirk. We got Gem Shock on the left side there. That's Del Keown and Mandy Summers' character. So I asked them if I could use their character, and they said yes. We got the infamous Cyber Frog. I asked Ethan if he would allow me to bring this into the campaign or into the book, and he said yes. He said, like fire, baby. And so this is a Gigantor piece. I really liked Gigantor as a kid, and I liked the way this piece came out. So Mike Mignola some years back was posting pencils of different like things he liked as a kid. So HR Puffin stuff. There's Gigantor. There's this character called Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, and it was a Disney show, and he did those guys. And so I think I inked those 3. I might have inked more. I think I inked some. He did some of the what were they called? The cats, Thundercats. So I inked some of those, and so I added some wash to it. So it's not just line work. There's some wash and everything, and they came out really good. So that's a jam between Mike Mignola and myself. And so then the one on the bottom right is I want to say Lilith, because there's a Lilith and a Lilith, I think. So this is the Graveyard Shift character. And so this is Mark Poulton and John Malin's IP, Graveyard Shift. And so I did this character for, I think, a pinup book or something that John put out a couple years ago. And I asked him if I could use this, and I thought it came out really cool. And so he said yes. So this is cool, man. So there's going to be like a lot of different pieces in here. I'm trying to stray away from too much of the my mainstream work and getting more into like independent stuff or like just fun pop culture stuff. You know, some Comicsgate stuff. And so then, of course, from '93, this is a promotional piece that I did to promote the cable series that I was penciling and inking with Fabian Nicieza as the writer. So I think this was used for the Capitol and the Diamond cover, and I think they did it also as a retail poster, I believe. And so I still had the artwork for this. I'm not sure if I still do. I think I do. So I digitally re-inked it. I kind of touched it up. And then once again, Thomas Mason put his talents to work, or I put his talents to work here, and he did a tremendous job on this cable piece. Yeah, some of these images, you guys, like this cable piece, the one on the right is going to be full bleed. So there's all kinds of layout, interesting layouts and stuff like that in the book as well. So this right here is Hit. This is creator-owned stuff. I put this together as an animated pitch for Adult Swim and Cartoon Network, and it was a little too out there for them. They thought it was hilarious, especially Cartoon Network. They really liked it. But they passed on it. They passed on it. They thought it was a little too out there. They thought it was funny and interesting, but they passed on it. I think they said they laughed their ass off at the pitch. So this is another independent CG book or character, She. So Billy Tucci, She. So I got the, so some of this stuff is like a work in progress pages. So we have the thumbnail pencil sketch. We have some ink work where I just kind of put some inks to the layout, tightened it up a little bit, figured out where my black images or black shapes were going to go, and then brought that into the finished product. So you can see some changes. Obviously, the costume designs changed. I figured out better how to do her plaid kind of quilted costume or uniform. So there's an art to that, man. It's not that easy to figure out. So from the ink sketch to the finish, you can see the difference there. And then, of course, the backgrounds changed a little bit as well. So that's 4 of the pages that will be used inside the book, you guys. And this right here is, I still pinch myself. I cannot believe this happened. This is a quote for this book from Kevin Nowlan, the great Kevin Nowlan. And he writes, "I've been jealous of Art's inking for many years. He really makes beautiful lines. If you isolate them and discard the context, they are still graceful and elegant. But he's not just an inker. He draws beautifully as well. I think that might explain half of the secret of his success. If he puts a shadow under the nose, he adds a texture. He's sensitive to the underlying structure, so he doesn't make the same or the mistakes you're likely to see from an inker who is just tracing the pencils. The other half, I have no idea. I've tried to make lines as elegant as his, and I fail every time." Man, thank you so much, Kevin Nowlan. And this Batman image, it's probably not going to be in the book. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to get it in the book. But this is a jam between Kevin and I. I did a convention. I think it was at the Smallville Comic-Con. And I penciled this and just asked him, you know, I was sitting next to him if he would ink it up. And boy, did he. Just absolutely fantastic. So we got some prints that we're going to be offering. So this is Del Keown's Pit character. And once again, got permission to do this. Del gave his blessing, and I'm so thankful for that. It's a great community, you guys. Comicsgate is a great community. We all have each other's back, and it's showing. It's going to show big time in this Oodles book. So one of the things we're going to do with the pit print is we're going to offer it unto itself. So we're going to offer it in the early bird tier, and we're going to offer it in one of, let me go to the tiers here. It's called the Oodles with Pit tier. So it's going to be a little bit more, but it's the only place you're really going to be able to get the print of Pit. And then we do have the early bird sets, which are here. So there's only going to be 20 available of the A set and the B set. And then I do believe it's not in the site yet, but in the jam, it's going to be offered. So I think, I think the 6x8.5 prints, I think the 6x11 print is going to be the pit print, but I think we got to change the wording here and say pit print. But that will be offered in the jam, the Oodles jam. So there's a lot of cool tiers. I'll go over those in a second. But here's the prints, some other prints that are offered. So this 11x17, this is the new character for volume 3, the new villain, I should say. Her name is Juju. I am working right now on Pages, and that opening scene with Juju, I've showed it on some of the past live streams, but they're absolutely gorgeous, absolutely amazing. This book is going to rock, you guys. I'm working with Aaron Sparrow on the writing, and we are hitting not just home runs, but we are hitting grand slam home runs. All the guys are coming home on this one. So then we got set A. So these are 8.5x11. So we got Red Sonja, we got Mary Jane, and we got Jim Lee's Voodoo character, plus the book. So that's print A, or set A print set. And so this is set B. And so we got Harley Quinn being cute. We got, I'm kind of known for Nightwing. I was going to do a mini series for DC where I was going to write pencil and ink. So in Titan lore, it's kind of there. There's been some articles written, things like that. Some promotional artwork was done as well. I think it showed up in Wizard Comics, and I think there was a retail poster that DC put out of Nightwing image I did as well. So then we have Wonder Woman. It's kind of a Gal Gadot, kind of like comic book version of Gal Gadot kind of thing. So there's some isms there, but it's more comic booky. And so then that comes with the book as well. Wait a minute. Some of my stuff is in here. Oh, there it is. Wow, maybe my computer's acting up. So this took a while. So these are going to be offered for this book, you guys. These are the 30th anniversary commemorative head sketches. So these will be on the flyleaf of the book. So these will be offered, and I will draw the new versions of black and white in your book. So that's going to be offered as a tier as well. There's going to be a few other drawing tiers that I'll go over, but you can see the artwork pretty good here. And it took me an entire day to do this 30th anniversary logo, man. I'll tell you, maybe I broke my Photoshop when I was doing that. So maybe that's why it's not working right now. But yeah, let's go over the tiers. Go back up and go over the tiers here. Okay. So, yeah, we have the book offered. So that's 40. We have the Oodles of Doodles with the pit. I already talked about that. So that will be 50. Then we have the Oodles with the Juju 11x17 print. So this is, we're starting into the set A, the different sets. So this is book plus set A, which is 80. We have book plus set B, which is 80 as well. And then this is the early bird, you guys. So if you get in early, that's another reason why you need to sign up now, because we give the early birds heads up before we go live. So you will get a notice and then you'll be able to get in here early and snag these early birds. So the reason you want to get this is because the Pitt, the Del Keown Pitt print comes absolutely free. So early bird specials usually have something that you either get free or a discount. So in this case, it's a discount and you get something free. So, well, I guess it's a discount of sorts, but you get the Pitt print for free. That's probably a better way to say it. So then that's set A. This is set B. So there's actually 20 each, which is 40. And then this is kind of like a jam. So this will be, this is not early bird. So this is all 6 of the mini prints plus the 11 by 17 Juju print for 110. And keep in mind, you guys, these are all signed and they're all numbered. So whatever the print run is going to be, I'm thinking it's going to be around 500 at this point. We're going to kind of see how the campaign goes. So we'll do like 1 of 500, 2 of 500, and then there'll be a signature as well. These are very collectible, very sought after. I've seen these on eBay for $90 to $110 with the drawings inside of them. So and a lot of you guys over the years have asked, how can I get this book? And it's completely sold out. I got a handful of these books myself, so they're totally gone. And so here's the flyleaf head sketch of Black. So these are 190. And yes, it's going to have all the background there, the circuitry. It's not going to have the 30th anniversary logo because I'm not going to draw that. But I put it in here so you guys would know. And I might change the title of this. So maybe a commemorative 30th anniversary commemorative head sketch of Black. And then in the description, it could say Flyleaf, so you know where it's going to be. I could work up. I could work up an image of the book open with the sketch in the Flyleaf, but so much to do. So much to do. This is the Flyleaf drawing of White, the 30th anniversary. Here is the gem. So this should, at this point, I'm not sure if it does, but this will have everything in it, you guys. So it'll have all 6 of the, well, all 7 of the mini prints. That's with the Pitt print as well. The 11 by 17 and the head sketch. It'll have the Flyleaf head sketch. I guess you'll have to choose. There is a version, I think it's coming up, where you can get both the Black and White head sketch inside the book. So I might have to rework this. So maybe the jam should have both of them offered, so you don't have to make a decision. So both the Black and White drawing will be there. So this is a head sketch. So this is a 9 by 12 head sketch. If you guys have seen, I posted stuff in the past. They're pretty detailed. They usually have gray tones and some limited color on them. And they look fantastic. They look fantastic. So I haven't been drawing a lot for you guys. I haven't been taking commissions for the last 2 years or so. So this, if you guys have been wanting me to do some commission work for you, this would be the tier to back. And then this one right here is 11 by 17 commission. So this will be full on 11 by 17 on image board, and it will be pen and ink. So you will have like a full on basically cover illustration. So it won't be a sketch, it won't be, you know, rough, it'll be like fully detailed. It'll look like this she image right here. So that will give you an idea of what the 11 by 17 commissions. And there's only going to be 2 of those, and there's going to be 4 of the head sketches. So if they sell out quick, I might reconsider. But really, I want this to be a relatively quick campaign because the book is templated. It's pretty much done with the exception of the new artwork that I'm going to add. So we can get this to the printer pretty fast, and we can get it to you, quickly. As soon as we get the, everything printed up, we can put all that stuff together and get it out to you. So this should have a good, quick turnaround timeline. And the reason I don't want to offer too many of those commissions is because I want to devote my time into black and white. So black and white is going to launch, I'm thinking October. That's what I'm going for, October. The original series, the miniseries, came out in October of '94, I believe. So this is the 30th anniversary. So I thought it would be cool to release it in October. So at least that's the plan right now. The Oodles campaign will be going live. I know I said the end of the month, but it will be I think the 1st of July. So I can launch this on the Kings. I believe that's a Monday. So I'll keep you guys tuned in to as things go. But as of now, all you need to remember is click that link. Let me see. I think Pastmaster's been putting it in the. Let me see. Here it is. Yeah, click this link. Oh no, that's the original art site. Anyway, I know it's here somewhere. So click that link. Oh, here it is. Click this link, go over, sign up, and you'll be eligible for a free mini print that will be exclusive to this campaign. So the only way you can get that print is with the campaign and or with the backing and a sign up for the campaign. It won't be offered any other way. And at this point, it's absolutely free to sign up. So you'll have that option, that opportunity to get that mini print absolutely free. And so this is the book, you guys. So you can see this is what it will look like finished. The spine, very, very cool. Back cover. So some of this stuff will change a little bit. There's going to be some DC stuff. It's the DC stuff. So some of them are pinups, commissions. I have some cover work in here. Let me see. Where is that? Oh, here's some flash covers that I did for DC. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, it's a really, really high quality book. It'll look good on your coffee table. I collect art books. Like I have just my bookshelf is full of art books. Like I got the Barry Windsor Smith books. I got the Cheeks Galloway books. I got all the Disney animation books. Just everything. What else do I have over there? I got the Alex Toth books. Just all kinds of stuff. So I collect all those things. I love looking at art books for inspiration. So I thought it would be fun. 40 years. It feels right, to kind of compile some of your career stuff in one book. So yes, let's see what you guys are saying. Catch up. Apex Comics, what's up? Torchbearer Studio says top quality, just like you art. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We got Kevin Thompson. Campaign looks great. Thank you, my friend. There's a lot of your commissions that are going to be in there. I started thinking the other day, I think even stuff from the past. Because what I'm trying to do is I want to reimagine the book. So I want to kind of stray away from some of the Marvel and DC stuff. So there's a piece, uh, Judge Anderson, that I did for Kevin, and Kevin's cool because I like to get, they come out so good. Like I get them colored, and sometimes I'll sell them as a print. I didn't that Judge Anderson, but I was looking at it the other day, and it came out really good. And so there are some pages that I want to change out. So I was thinking maybe that Judge Anderson piece will look cool. So like I said, if you guys back that original book, this one is going to have a lot of new artwork in it. Normie Nerd says Juju Cecil's girlfriend. Yeah, that is kind of a strange coincidence. Paula says, when did you last upgrade your PC? Ooh, it's been a while. I heard that like Photoshop is doing like some shenanigans and stuff like that. I don't know if they can affect the old, because the Photoshop I'm using is ancient. I mean, it's at least 10 years. This computer is probably 8 years, maybe. So the computer itself is probably 8. That the Photoshop program it was installed 8 years ago, but I think it was an older, I hate to say it, but I think my friend bootlegged it, and but it's all good. So I don't know what I would do actually if my Photoshop started glitching. Also, I depend on it so much for these live streams. So I don't know. I'm going to look into it and see. But like I said, if you guys are coming in late and saw the title, I can't really do the Action Comics part I was going to do because StreamYard, I think, is not compatible with Photoshop anymore, or so it seems. Let me try it again. No, it's not. It's not syncing up, which is very strange. So I can share all my tabs, but I can't share my Photoshop tab. Yeah, so I'll look into that after the show. So I apologize for not being able to do the show that I promised. I'll probably change the title to just like Hangout Stream or something like that. So I do apologize for that. Oh, cool. Apex just signed up to Art's campaign. Thank you, my friend. You will get that with the backing. You will get that exclusive mini print. So you guys all follow Apex Comics' example. Okay, let me see. Paula seems like he knows a lot about computers. I bootleg. Adobe are thieves and invade privacy. I ain't sorry. I just thought for what it was really expensive because, like, I don't fair price, good product, all that stuff. Capitalism, I'm all for it, right? But the price of that program, the newer programs, I mean, before the shenanigans that they're pulling now, but this is maybe, you know, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, you know, I wanted to buy it, but it was so damn expensive. And then there was some other thing like you had to update it, like there was some kind of strings. And the thing is, I don't like strings. I don't like websites that have strings attached. I don't like programs that have strings attached. I don't like these upgrades. They seem like they're always like a way to steal information or whatever. So I don't like any of those kind of upgrades or whatever. I like knowing what you're installing, install it, and that's it. I guess it's the idea that there's another place that then has access to your computer and that can upgrade supposedly just the functionality of that program. But I don't really trust. I have a hard time trusting people these days, for sure. So I'm going to try to start doing some of these live streams without my glasses. Let me see. Legend Comic says, Art, are there any comic book characters that you wanted to work on that you didn't get a chance to work on in your time at Marvel and DC? That's a good question, Comics Legend. I never really did a run on the Justice League, so I never got to work on the Justice League. I did a small detective run with Aaron Lopresti, which if I didn't, and that was towards the end of my run at DC, if I didn't get that, I think I would have kind of regretted my career, actually, because all I ever wanted to do is work on Batman. As you can tell, I'm a huge Batman fan. If you look around the studio, there's just a ton of Batman stuff. And yeah, that would have been on my bucket list. So DC, I did get, it was a small run on Batman, and I've done books with Batman in it, but not like the Batman book or detective. So that's what I'm talking about. So I did, like I said, with Aaron Lopresti, got to do that. I think it was maybe 5 or 6 books or something like that, which nowadays that's probably a huge run. And DC, man, I did a run on the Flash, Superman, Batman, Teen Titans, Outsiders. I think I've done all the icons. I've never worked on Wonder Woman as a book. I worked on the character in other books, but never. I assisted an artist. I did backgrounds and different stuff. He was in a deadline bind, and I was helping him out on a Wonder Woman issue. I don't even remember what issue, and I didn't get any credit for it. It was just kind of helping out a friend. That's what we did in the day, to make deadlines. And also the reason why people did that is you didn't want to show weakness, that you couldn't get work done. So it was easier, if you were smart and you had a friend that had some time, he could help you out. And then as things go, you could help. Well, you can help him, and then if you get in a bind, he can help you as well. So it's good to have those kind of friends in the industry. And so that was Wonder Woman. But to be honest, I like the character visually, but I don't care for the character. It's weird. Like, Wonder Woman's so iconic, but I don't think she's cool. Like, she doesn't really do anything that I think is cool. I thought the movie with Gal Gadot, the first one, all the war stuff where she's on the battlefield and everything, I thought that stuff was really, really cool. I think she worked really well as a period piece like that. But the end of that movie, it just became like a CG video game fest, which destroyed the entire tone of the movie. But I think that's the only time I can say I genuinely liked Wonder Woman. So Marvel, I worked on an event. I've never worked on the Avengers book. It's weird. I've never worked on like the big like team books for Marvel and DC. So I never worked on the Justice League, and I never worked on the Avengers. I just before Marvel fired me in the most horrible way possible, I was going to do, what was it called? Avengers Assemble or something with I think it was Bendis and Finch. So Michael Bendis was going to write it, and Dave Finch was going to draw it. And I think Dave and I did some promotional stuff for that series. And so we were going to jump from Ultimate X-Men over to that. I think it was called Avengers Assemble. And we were supposed to do that. So if that would have happened, then I would have had that Avengers crossed off my list. But I think it would be the Hulk. I don't have a run on the Hulk. I've worked, God, you know what? I have very little work that I've done on the Hulk character. Just a handful of stuff where he would appear in other books and things like that. You know what I would have loved to work on in the day is that Marvel team-ups. So John Byrne drew a bunch of those. Man, that would have been the ultimate bucket list. I never thought about that until now. That would have been the ultimate bucket list for me because one is John Byrne, who I've never got to work with and always wanted to. And two, it's Spider-Man, the cool Spider-Man, not the Peter Parker, all that melodrama stuff, but cool Spider-Man stuff with like Hero of the Week or Hero of the Month. So, he would always team up with characters. And some of my favorite Byrne stuff was, there was a character called the Wood God. I think that's what he was, like a goat character, and the Hulk. And I think it was some kind of like crossover storyline in Marvel Team Up. That would have been cool. But I have a 2-year run on Fantastic Four, which is amazing. I have, I think, almost 3 years on Spider-Man. Not it was the Ultimate Spider-Man, so not like amazing or spectacular, not any of the main title stuff, but the Ultimate Spider-Man, that was really, really successful, and it's kind of iconic now. So the Ultimate Spider-Man has kind of earned its place legendary status wise. So I do hold that up. Of course, X-Men, I think I have on and off maybe 15 years invested in that book with those characters. What else? Fantastic Four, X-Men, Thor. I never worked on the Thor book. I did one single issue with Tom Grummett on Iron Man. So I worked on Iron Man. Thor, I think I would have only wanted to work on Thor in the day, like early, like the 60s stuff or the early 70s stuff. Like the later stuff didn't do much for me. Although working, I forget who the writer was. Hold on. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not tired or bored. Was I can never say his name, Olivier or Oliver Copiel, and forget the writer, but there was a pretty cool storyline with Thor in that, and that Oliver or Olivier or whatever his name is, he is so good. I would have been able to hook that guy up in a heartbeat, because that's when he was breaking in. I was already kind of stylistically going in that kind of direction. Yeah, Batman is definitely my favorite. Let me see, Torchbearer. I bought Adobe Creative Suite 2 when I was a student. Adobe recently blocked my serial number and as pirated because they're no longer offering the student discount to my college. They are crazy. I hate Adobe for the same reasons I hate Apple. My daughter, for her school, she needed a laptop, so I got her a laptop, and I got her, like top of line, like Apple, whatever the hell it was, and she forgot her sign-in password, and they wouldn't let her in. And so she went through all their channels, and they kept saying, no. And so I don't really remember how that resolved, if she finally was able to get them to actually just let her use the product that I paid a bunch of money for and that she absolutely needed. See, that's some kind of like weird blackmail bullshit. I hate that stuff. Or we bought her a new one. I don't really remember how that went, but I don't like that kind of like they can hold you hostage Like I bought the damn thing. I should be able to use it till it breaks down. Like used to be able to buy an appliance, you could keep it maintained. There were repairmen, and you could have the thing as long as you maintain it and take good care of it. Leg Kick says, "Hail RT Bear, about to go into a con to see Aaron Lopresti and Shelly. Ah, tell them I said hi. Good people, good people." Paula says, "Wow, now that's super shenanigans." Now that's super shenanigans. Yeah, I don't like that companies do that. I know it gives them control and gives them power, and then they can kind of start dictating terms, not just how you use the product, but also that you have to pay for upgrades, or just like you have to be like codependent with them. And I don't like that. I don't want a relationship with my freaking software. I don't want that. I just want to buy it and have it work. That's all. I don't want to like have to think about, oh, is this program working? Oh, I need to get the upgrade for this program. Some people, I have friends that it's absolutely no problem for, and they're older and they're just like tech heads. They don't mind it. I hate it. Torchbearer says, "Come on, everyone loves Lynda Carter, Wonder Woman. If not, check your testosterone levels." Oh, wowzer. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's awesome. But you can't say that show was good. Like, nobody's looking back at that show and going, "Man, this is amazing. I love this show." They're not doing that. From what I remember, I think the first season she was in Wartime with Steve Trevor. I think that dynamic works. Like the Steve Trevor war dynamic works. After that, I think she gets lost. I think some of these characters kind of exist in certain worlds and they don't others. Like, I don't think Batman works in the DC universe. I think Batman works in Gotham City in the Batman universe. I don't really care to see him teaming up with other characters. Superman, I think, is great. Wonder Woman teaming up, she might even be better in other people's books. Atom, Flash, I think Green Lantern's a cool character. I think he can completely, hold his own in his own book and everything. But, like there are characters that Green Lantern works in his own book and does crossover. So does Superman. Wonder Woman, I don't know if she works in her own book or not. Like I said, I never really cared for the book. If you look at my collection, I have very few Wonder Woman comic books. But yeah, Lynda Carter, Gal Gadot, just amazing. Let me see. Apex says Wonder Woman sandwich between Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman sandwich. You would be the meat. Oh man, that's gross. But in a Gal Gadot, Lynda Carter sandwich. Oh my gosh. Let me see. RT Bear, working for Marvel in the 60s, you would be like 82 years old. Yes, and I'd still be kicking ass. I will kick age. The only thing is like age, they say age slows you down. It's a conscious decision that I'm making to slow down, because in the day when I was firing on all cylinders, that's all I did, man. There was very little time for anything else. So I kind of want to enjoy my life. Like just live streaming with you guys it's a blast. Let's see what Jav Stylor says. Never use an Apple product ever. Hate those patent trolls. Yeah, but I like the T-Bear. Delaware Comics or Comic Dude. Welcome to the show. The show is absolutely garbage, but Lynda Carter was hot. Yeah, I think it's fun. Like some people, like they'll grab clips from the show and that is absolutely entertaining. Like there's one where she puts on a helmet, and she's got a skateboard, and then she just skateboards through like just a parking lot that was probably at some studio or some like a mini mall somewhere. It's absolutely hilarious. Let me see. Delaware says first season is in. That's what I thought. World War II. The rest is present day 1970s. Yeah, I'm not sure that how they transitioned or moved her through time, but I guess Amazonians are kind of like immortal, so I guess it could work. Wonder Woman was never sold. Is that or solid? No, that's sold. I don't think like there's some characters that they're not really clearly defined. So I never really knew who Diana. Like in the wartime, I did. Like she had a purpose and all that other stuff, And then there was a war going on and all that, and so she fell in love with this fighter pilot and all this stuff. So it all kind of worked, like the romance thing, the male female, her fighting or helping fight a war. She's an Amazon, she's a warrior. Like all those things really worked out. But then bringing her to present day, it didn't quite. There wasn't a purpose. And also, like the thing about World War II is the Nazis and the Japanese at the time, Nazis and Japanese at the time, were major bad guys, right? I mean, look at the Indiana Jones franchise. I mean, the reason it works is, it's Indy against like Nazis or Nazi adjacent characters. And that is solid. I mean, that's in our world, it's the ultimate villain. And so you have a bad guy that's really, really good. But then later, what's her arch nemesis? Cheetah? Like that is that's like a Batman villain. I think George Perez and Lynn Wein did a run on Wonder Woman, which was probably the best from what I remember. And they brought her to like the Greek mythology roots of it. And I thought that was cool. Like she could work that way. Like she could fight like mythical beasts and stuff like that and be part of that world. I think that works. So as far as redefining her, and also you're not relying on a certain time period. Like I always think that type of mythology and stuff is timeless. So Wonder Woman could plug into that world tomorrow if she wanted to. So it kind of works. It's adjacent to our world, so it kind of works. Cancel me for being a toxic male. Never, not on this show. No canceling toxic males. I like the Wonder Woman, what was that, pilot movie? But I was 12 at the time and went Gaga, I'm sorry, over Linda Carter. I don't remember the pilot. Maybe it was good. There was a show called Fantasy Island, and that show became kind of a parody of itself. But I remember a pilot issue or episode, and it was kind of edgy, and it wasn't campy. Like it later kind of like camped itself, like it just became a joke. Like it parodied the idea. But I remember the first episode or the pilot episode was pretty strong. What? Wonder Woman eats rats? Why? That's gross. There's real food in the world, Linda Carter. You don't have to eat rats. Omer Glitch says, Art, tell us about what it was like to paint on cave walls. LOL. I kid. I kid. It was a blast. There were no rules. Yeah, I could do whatever the hell I wanted to. I had no corporate overlord. I could paint my heart's desire. Marcus Killigrew says, as a comic, Wonder Woman never sold me. Same. And it's really strange because it's such an iconic character. And I wonder if it's like iconic just because it's kind of a feminist symbol. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it ever really earned its place, you know, other than like a symbol. I like that she wears the American flag. I think that's pretty cool. Also, that's kind of tied into the war as well. So the whole origin of the character really works that way, all the way down to the character design or the costume design. So wow, this is a fun little side departure talking about Wonder Woman. Sometimes I don't know how many deep thoughts I have about the stuff until I talk to you guys. Let me see. Logic's finest. Art, you don't have to put my comment on the screen. I understand you don't want to strike. Just speaking the truth that a lot of men seem afraid to say it out loud in public. Man, I don't care. Like those, a lot of that stuff, it's not that like, oh, I just want to fight society's norms. I just want to be able to speak freely. I just want to say things and just not have to second guess every damn word that comes out of my mouth. You know, to me, that's freedom. You know, and if somebody wants to, you know, argue with you or challenge you on whatever it is you say, that's fine. You know, but it's the canceling part. Let's see. Delaware says George Perez came up with Ares. Yeah, I thought that was a good villain. Probably the best real villain other than the Nazis Wonder Woman ever had. So I'm not sure what a trouser snake is, Omer, but I have to take your word for it. Byrne's Wonder Woman run was fun, sort of like a mashup style between John She-Hulk and Superman's Man of Steel. I did like it, but it's weird because I think John was inking himself on that. And I like John's inks over his own work. I really liked his OMAC. I thought it stylistically was cool. I thought the black and white with the like duotone or like zipatone was artistically very cool. But like his inks on Wonder Woman, I thought were kind of ugly. So sorry, John. And so she just didn't seem pretty enough for me. So it was kind of like some of the inks were kind of ugly. That would have been that would have been a good job for me. I would have made that stuff look great. Fantasy Island was great. Ricardo Montalban as a rich what is that? I can't even say that word. Corinthian leather. Oh, okay. And his rich Corinthian leather. I don't think Corinthian leather is even real. But I think that first pilot was what's the actor's name? You guys can help me here. He played Cornelius in the Planet of the Apes movies. He was in Fright Night. I can never say Fright Night without saying it that way. But I think he was in it, and he wanted to go back and spend time with his wife who died. And I think the fantasy was like he would get to spend a day or something like that. But he ended up becoming kind of obsessed with trying to save her. It was not dark, but dark for Fantasy Island. And it was real stakes, melodrama. And I think what I don't know if they continued with the series. I didn't watch it that much, but that there was kind of a lesson that would be learned from the ordeal. Meaning that he learned to move on from his wife or whatever it was. That there was kind of a coping, that being able to have this fantasy would help you cope with something later on. And so I thought that was kind of cool. They did another series, and I forget the director. I like his work. He worked with the guy that did like Addams Family, the two with Raul Julia. He did Pushing Daisies. He kind of has like a Tim Burton aesthetic. He did Men in Black. I want to say Scott. Scott something. Maybe you guys will know. And then there was the guy that worked with him as a right-hand man, and he did this show called Pushing Daisies. And I think they did The Tick together. But anyways, I think Aaron Sorkin? No. I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway, they tried a different take on the Fantasy Island, and it was like a heaven and hell type of scenario. Like somehow like Mr. Rourke was like a fallen angel or something, and that like there was like the supernatural aspect to it. And there were like behind the scenes stuff, like there were people that were like demons and angels and people that kind of manifested the fantasies, like a behind the scenes crew and stuff like that. It was kind of a neat idea. I think I watched the first couple episodes, but it didn't really do anything. John Byrne is one of my favorite comic artists. No contest. His ego matches his talent, though. I still love him and his work. Yes, same. Oh, Roddy McDowall. That's the actor. Thanks, Torchbearer. And thank you, Art of Roy. Art of Roy, I always think of you as a young dude. I don't know why, but you always have like all this old school reference material. You have this, maybe you're just like an old soul and you know all this stuff, but I always think of you as a younger guy. The biggest problem with Wonder Woman was that the audience is hard to capture. It is for males or females. Initially, the audience is for males, but then kind of targeted to females, then back to males. Yeah, well, I think there could be a balance there. But I do think that I think just action adventure, that type of genre as a whole, not even if it's male driven or female driven, like as a lead, it just doesn't appeal to women. They really don't like the action adventure as a concept, as an idea. That's why a lot of action adventure will bring in like a romantic angle to it, so that women will want to go see it, or like a sensitive action adventure hero, like I don't know, Bruce Willis was able to do it, Mel Gibson, Indiana Jones, kind of like a sympathetic hero, a character that isn't too heroic, has frailties, still, like loves romance, these type of things. So then women will kind of go along with men to go watch these things. You know what I mean? Not necessarily that men don't like, a little romance as well, but I think it's mostly there for women. So I don't think it's like, I don't think, this is going to sound really sexist. Listen, creators, whoever wants to, you can make anything you want. I'm not saying you can't, but I think like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, comic books like Marvel, DC, like all these things, I don't know, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, Tarzan, you name it. They're aimed at young males. That's their audience. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you shouldn't be ashamed of that. They deserve to be entertained as well. And there are some women, maybe even a lot, I don't know what the percentage is, that like action adventure as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. And they like the action adventure the way it is. You know what I mean? So if you write Wonder Woman and you just write it like a straight up action adventure, don't make it don't make it overly female or male or whatever. Just like like most of these heroes, just kind of make it matter of fact, and then have them do heroic action adventure things. That's all. You don't have to pay special attention to the, oh well, this is a female, so she can't be as strong, or she can't do, or whatever it is. You don't even have to get into that. Just make it matter of fact. Just have her do things. No apologies, no whatever. And once again, with Wonder Woman, heroes are only as good as their villains. Wonder Woman has a crappy rogues gallery. She just does. There's a few standouts, but overall, not much. So without Nazis to fight, without a war background, she just doesn't really have a purpose. I think that's the strongest thing. So I do stand by, like I said, it's going to sound sexist, but that make these things for a young adult audience. That's it. You know what I mean? No one's saying that women can't read it or shouldn't read it. But we're not saying you can't buy it, you can't enjoy it, or anything like that. You can read and you can watch it, enjoy anything you want. Like men are free to read romance novels if they want. They can watch romance movies. They can do those things too. They can watch female-oriented stuff. Like I think like Sound of Music, that musical. I think that's one of those rare occasions where, it's basically a woman's like entertainment. Like but there's kind of this strong war background, and there's this heroic aspects where there's this guy that's got a family, just lost his wife, and he doesn't like what the Germans are doing, and they're invading, and they're turning his town, his village, his whatever upside down, and he doesn't like it. So he takes his family out of that area, and they walk. It's based on a real story. My wife read it's the main character, the female's autobiography, and it was, I mean, that movie is definitely it's the clean, G version of what they did, but they just kind of left. They didn't have supplies or anything. They just left, and they walked over, mountains and whatever to get to their safe haven. So, but it's primarily a female story. It's a musical, but there's a lot of guys that I know that enjoy that movie. I would never go, I want to watch this movie by myself. But if my wife wants to watch it, or my daughter, I'll watch it with them, and there's stuff there that I can enjoy. So I think this weird like world we live in, where you're either left or right, you're progressive or you're conservative, you either like, this or that, like there's this big division with everything. And I don't see the world as being that, so entertainment doesn't have to just be one thing or the other. At the very least, you don't have to isolate somebody. But I do think there is a target. So when you create stuff, just so you know who you're writing for, the audience, you don't have to exclude people, and you don't have to be tunnel visioned on it, but kind of know your audience, especially your age group. you know, because there's obviously stuff for toddlers, for preschoolers, for, you know, elementary school, for middle school, for high school. There's, you know, and then young adult. There's different material that's suited more for some than others, you know. But yeah, I mean, if women want to read black and white, read it. But, you know, and it's written by my wife and I, so I guess there's a female perspective in it. But I'll tell you, my wife loves action adventure. She loves that stuff. Um, she watches it. She enjoys it. She has from the moment I've known her. So I didn't convert her or anything like that. And so the character is female. You know, White, Whitney Sung is female, but she doesn't necessarily act like a damsel in distress, or like she's not. She just kind of, she just matter of fact. She's an action character that just happens to be female. You know what I mean? And then there's a strong attraction between the male lead and the female lead. But that doesn't mean that it's a romance story either. You know, like I think a lot of these good action adventures have a counterpart. You know, there's Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor. There's Captain America. There's Peggy Carter. You know, there's always like there's this yin and yang to stuff. I never really thought about it too much, so I'm not sure I completely articulated the way I wanted to. Now say, "Ooh, you're so cool, Brewster." That dude was creepy, man. He was kind of creepy even before he became a demon. Your memory is faulty, Art. LOL. Mr. Rourke was fighting the devil straight up. He himself was. No, I didn't mean he was a devil. No, yeah, he's an angel. But what I was trying to say is that they're supernatural. There's a supernatural aspect to it. Some people think supernatural is just all demonic, but you know, Jesus was supernatural. Yeah, I completely agree. Women tend towards drama. Drama encompasses a lot of subgenres like romance and rom-com. Yeah. Fast-moving and heavy detailed movies, TV isn't a thing most chicks like. My chick does, though. But there's a level to it, like the Van Damme movies. Like my mom loved those movies. I think she loved them because, you know, I think she liked that dude. He would do like weird, like this, like he'd do like splits and different acrobatics that kind of showed off his bum cheeks. But I always thought like those characters, they weren't able to emote the way, and it's the actor like a Mel Gibson or something like that. Mystery and romance, and you know what? Women kind of like horror. They like the horror genre. Like if you think about horror, there's usually, it starts off a damsel in distress, right? And then she becomes somewhat of the hero of the story. So a lot of those horror stories have females in them. The female would be the lead. Let me see. I'm getting way behind in the chat. Historically speaking, comics and sci-fi have both had an 80% male audience. Yeah, sci-fi is another one of those things. To appeal to more women, you have to change, or more accurately, remove that what draws men. Not necessarily. I mean, there's a lot of examples of things that have worked in the past. Wonder Woman should always be making sandwiches. She should always be creating an army of superhumans, baby machine. I don't know if you know this, Omer, but You know, Wonder Woman's not real. Women are half the population, but not the audience for the material. Hence the crap that Hollywood and comics are making. That's the problem. That is the problem, where I think the women, the 20% of women or whatever, I don't know, like I don't know what the percentage of women like action adventure, but let's just say it's 20%. Those women really like it. So that 20% and then the guys 80% makes 100%. I don't know about the math. I'm just making stuff up. But then yeah, you have that. And if you have 20% of women, like I said, I'm just making this stuff up, that really, really like it and that are going to watch Star Wars, even if it doesn't have a strong, you know, female lead, or Iron Man that doesn't have a strong female lead, or whatever it is, then that's 20%, man. Why would you, whatever? And it's weird, like this thing between men and women's entertainment or sports or whatever, it only seems to work the one way, that the women like enter into the men's thing. Like you can't be a Boy Scout anymore. You just have to be a scout, right? So they let the girls in, right? Well, the girls have Girl Scouts, but you don't see many boys wanting to be a Girl Scout. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of this strange dynamic. Sports, you know, is kind of weird. It's kind of reversed. Now I say it out loud. You know, you have men wanting to get into girls' sports, but there's only one reason for that, is those people have a screw loose and they just want to win at all costs, and they're just going to go in there and they're going to tear up these poor women, you know, and put them down in their own sport. But yeah, I think know your audience. Just know your audience. That's it. Whether it's male, female, whether it's romance, you know, mystery, you know, sci-fi, you know, action adventure, just know your audience, and then make the best romance you can, make the best action adventure you can. You know what I mean? That's it. There are formulas that work. I remember when I was younger, I used stereotypes. I'm going to fight all those stereotypes and I'm going to reinvent the wheel. And then you realize, like, there are certain archetypes, there's certain things that you need in the story to identify it as that, right? Like science fiction needs certain components to it to make it sci-fi. Action adventure needs certain components in it to make it action adventure. Romance needs certain components, you know, mystery. They need certain things. And those things are usually the cliches. Those things are the things that, like, modern creators are railing against. I say, don't rail against it. Make it interesting. Put it in, like, all these things. It's like the dynamics, like what character type, this personality, and you took this situation and you use this type of tone with a supernatural bend. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's like taking different personality types and putting them in different situations, different environments, different, you know, arenas. And that's really all it is. So just kind of mix and match these things, shake it up, and see what comes out. Sometimes it's going to connect with people, and sometimes it's not. If you think about Star Wars, that's all it is. It's a bunch of archetypes that were put into a blender, put on, like, blend, and then this beautiful concoction came out of it. And that's basically what this stuff is. But there's so much contempt for what came before. I think that's first and foremost, that's the biggest problem. You have people coming in, creatives that come in, it's like, I never read a comic book in my life. What was that? Diane Nelson, who took over DC Comics. She, with glee, she never read a comic. And then she was like how would I even start if I was going to start, like trying to read comic books? There are so many of them. I don't know. You're running a comic book company. If I ran an automotive company, like say it was a transmission, specialist, I think you would expect the owner to know something about transmissions, like how could you do your job effectively? Anyway, just BS. Kevin says, remember the Wonder Woman villain Angle Man? Or is that Angel Man? I don't know. My dyslexia is kicking in. No, I don't. I don't remember that character. I think that's Angel. They spell Angel. No, that's Angle Man. Man, this is bad. When my dyslexia really kicks in, like EL and LEs, I can't distinguish between them. So EL is Angel. So that's Angle Man. I do not remember Angle Man. Maybe I should type it in. We'll find out what Angle Man is. So then that is LE, Angle Man Comics. Are you kidding me? This is Angle Man. Oh, I can't share it with you because I can't bring this into Photoshop. He's a guy that's in like a green, like skin tight outfit, and it looks like he has like a gun holster, but he has like an angle, like a let you draw with. That is a good call. Yeah, just proving the point that she's got some horrible villains. Yeah, you guys type that in. Go check out Angle Man. It's a joke. You know what? I got to find out one thing. Angle Man. Let me see the Wikipedia. I got to find out when he was created. Okay, Wikipedia. Fandom Wikipedia. DC list of characters. Oh, it doesn't get into the year. You son of a Wikipedia. The character looks like it's probably these to me. Yeah, I think that's why women like it too. Are you kidding? That is cool, Torchbearer. My mom has dozens of letters from Maria von Trapp, Sound of Music. They were pen pals for years. Oh my gosh, if you have a YouTube channel, you need to get those and read those on the air, or just scan them and post those. That's crazy. Art, your example proves the point. Case in point, Top Gun Maverick, women said they wanted to see men doing manly things. The studies have shown women are 20% of the fan base. Oh, cool. You can't appeal to a wider amount of women unless you remove what draws in men. Exactly. The overall effect has the opposite of what's wanted, however, Star Wars being the most obvious example. Yes. And using the cancel culture to call people names and say you're a horrible human being if you don't like this. The rare successes here and there are the exceptions that prove the rule. Simply put, men like what we like and men like what they like, with a small overlap. That is well said. You guys should have your own show. And you know what? I mean, the Marvel Universe stuff, the cinematic universe, I mean, what did they do? What did they do? They got idealized human beings. Like, these are not like Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and these actors. Jeremy Renner is not one of them. He's got like a face that, but whatever. But these are like idealized human species, which were like superhero comic books to begin with, right? So somehow they were able to find living, breathing people that were like that. And those guys went on some crazy diet, some crazy exercise, and got ripped to the point of like being unreal, right? Like, this stuff is like completely unreal looking. Why did they do that? Like, men, I guess there are some guys that are like, ooh, that guy's got a great body, but I'm going to cast some judgment here. I'm like, those guys are a little weird. Like, those people that like really like those muscle magazines and they read them just to like, I don't know. I think that's weird. Like, ooh, look at the muscles on that guy. Like, it's just kind of weird. But anyway, I digress. Why do they do that? Those movies, and they're always without shirts and stuff. There's always the gratuitous shot of the guy without a shirt on, right? That's for the ladies, right? Usually those scenes are even in the trailers. So you get this fantastic looking guy that women are going to adore, and then you even put like a relationship angle to it. Like, all those characters in the Marvel Universe have a female counterpart. They all do. I thought the best one done was Pepper Potts. I don't like the actress. Somehow she transcended that. And the first movie, especially, she was strong. She took charge, but she was still feminine. She didn't become a man. She was just as badass in a female way as Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark character. If you watch that movie, it's like equal parts. She kicks ass, but in a very feminine way. He kicks ass in a very male way. And then you see those two attracted to each other. There's nothing wrong with that. I thought where they started getting weird is like they didn't realize how cool Pepper Potts was, and then they tried to turn her into some kind of dude. Like, oh, we need to put her in armor because she's not cool enough, or we need girl power. You have female heroes. You didn't have to do that. I thought Pepper Potts was a better female example. Like, I have a daughter. I think, Pepper Potts was a way better female example. Like, she didn't have to don on the armor to be badass. I thought she was cool. And she's the one that kind of helped Tony find his humanity, like, and he did it for love. You know what I mean? He wanted to make her proud. He wanted to be the man that she wanted him to be. You know what I mean? That's underlined in the story. And guys do that on some level. If they really love the woman, they'll change. Most guys, what is the Dave Chappelle joke? Like, men would be as happy to, it's kind of crude, like, to do women in a cardboard box. The only reason they don't is because like women won't do it. So they have to have an apartment. They have to have a nice apartment. They have to have a nice car. They have to do that because women won't really partake if you don't. You know what I mean? So there is like a certain level of like the men changing for the woman, so he can impress the woman or whatever it is. I mean, these are stories that resonate and connect with men and women. But I think when you just have the woman without those feminine stuff, then it's basically like you're just watching a guy that's just a girl in girl skin. You know what I mean? Like if you think about like Ripley was an interesting character because especially in the second one, she was a mom. You know, they played down some of those aspects in the story. There were scenes and stuff that were deleted. I think there's even like her daughters in the story. But it's definitely there. And then there's these strong motherly instincts that the character has. And so she's put into a situation where those things come out. So she's got to protect this little girl, right? And then there's also the protector character that's kind of works as the dad, the male figure, right? And so then they have a bit of an attraction. So there's kind of like this, it plays against like the norms, but in this situation, this heightened imaginary scenario, it really does work. So like my wife and women, I think, can enjoy this movie on a level that they couldn't even enjoy the first one or any of the other ones, because it did have like a true feminine character. Like Ripley is a feminine character. She acts like a woman that is going to, at that point, step up and kick ass to protect this little kid. There were women, frontier women, you know, out in the cabin, you know, when men would go hunting or, you know, to find work or whatever, and they would have to keep down the fort, hold down the fort, and they had kids. Don't tell me they couldn't kick ass, you know, but they were still feminine. You know, they still cooked, cleaned, took care of the kids. You know what I mean? Like those things still exist. I think when you try to ignore them, you know, and you try to like recreate something like, well, men are women and women are men, or like this woman, to be kick ass, she's got to be like a man. I just disagree with that. Joe says, I watched the second Iron Man and watched Pepper and Natasha walk up the stairs. LOL. There's a big difference. Yeah. But even that Natasha character, Black Widow, she uses her, she's a spy, but she's able to use her feminine, you know, prowess to disarm people. You know, I mean, she goes and talks to Loki and just basically, I'm just a stupid girl kind of thing without playing it too hardcore, and then gets information out of him. You know, so, but if she was totally just an action hero, you couldn't play that beat. That's a female beat. That's the man hating feminist again, always wanting women to be men, to beat up men, to do manly things. That appeals to a certain demographic, but I can't say which. I can't say which. Censorship. Yeah, but if you think about it, like it's also kind of a weird, like when I watch G versus Z, I want the hero to beat the bad guy, whether it's a male lead, a male hero, or a female hero. I don't want to watch the woman beat up the guy hero. Like I don't want to see that. I want to see them triumph over evil. That's what I want, you know, whether it's male or female. Joe says they had Ripley's daughter in the Aliens director's cut. That's where I saw it. How she passed away a long time ago. She broke down in tears because of her daughter's passing. Yeah, she never really got to be the mom to her own daughter because she was lost in space. So then she had kind of this, I'm not going to let this happen again. I'm going to protect this kid. So she had motivation. You know what I mean? And that works, man. I mean, they did cut some of the stuff out, but there was enough of that left that you understood what motivated that character. Yeah, she's a female spy. You know, that's like saying a female cop or whatever. So she's already kind of this action person. You know, so if you did a story about a female cop, it already lets you know that this is going to be an action character, or a female fireman. Yeah, like if you told a female fireman story, there would be action involved. It wouldn't necessarily be good versus evil action, but it would be action, saving people from fires, putting out fires, all that type of stuff. But you could handle it in a feminine way, or at the end of the day, she's still female, but she has to be strong to do these things. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think what they think is feminine strength is just male strength. And they got it all wrong. And like you guys said, it will appeal to a certain group of people, but I think those people are kind of nuts as well, to want to see that. I can honestly say I don't want to see that. I don't mind my heroes beating up each other. Like in comic books, there's always like, oh, there's a misunderstanding. So the two heroes have a brief battle, and then they compare notes and they realize they're on the same page, right? That always works. Like they did that very well in, the first Avengers, I think it was, where they had all three, Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, fight in their own way. It was brief, and then there was a meeting of the minds, and then they kind of moved on, right? Fine. But where it didn't work is Batman versus Superman, the Scott Snyder, Zack Snyder movie, because that's all the movie was about. You can't do a 2-hour movie where you have two heroes beating the shit out of each other. You can't do it. Who do you root for? For one, most people are Batman and Superman fans, and two, do you really want to see Batman beat the shit out of Superman, or Superman beat the shit out of Batman, or even kill them, each other? Who wants that? The reason why sporting events work is because you have a team. You have a local team. You don't have a generic team. You have a local team that you root for. So you want to see your team cream the other team because you like your local team, right? That's your team. But in the case of superheroes, I don't think it works. You have the Justice League. You have Batman and Superman on the same team. Like it doesn't work. Even boxers, you have the boxer you like and the boxer you don't, or MMA or whatever it is. And usually that comes down to personalities. You like this guy better, or you like his fighting style better, or whatever. So you root for an individual. But for me, boxing is less like localized, like I cheer for one guy. In boxing or MMA, I just want to see a good fight. You know what I mean? Like I just want to see a good fight. I want to see some guy giving his best, punch, and then the other guy like boom, taking it and then giving it back just as bad as he could receive. Like I want to see that give and take, and then eventually I want to see who can triumph over the other. But like with heroes, like stories like that, I'm not like that. But diversity reasons, I think they tried to lower the standards for female firefighters at some point, but they couldn't pass the physical test. But I heard there were some, they had to make the test lower physical to try to hire female firefighters. Yeah. And the thing is, I can't even really get behind female firefighters if they can't. And this is not sexist, but if I was in a multi-story building and I was trapped and I had a fireman come in and that person couldn't carry me out, I'm unconscious or whatever, then what good are you? You can't do your job. So I think if it hinders your job, then I think standards should be in place. But I don't think that's sexist. That's just reality. Yeah, this is really inside baseball. The truth of the Avengers Endgame, when Carol Danvers showed up, it was supposed to be Nova. They had a whole part missing, introducing Nova in the start of the Infinity War. They should have done that. Yeah, well, in case with Carol Danvers, they didn't create a character that was compelling. And it had nothing to do with that she was female. You just didn't care for her. I think they got an unlikable actress, and they didn't give the character anything likable, you know? So you didn't go along with it. Torchbearer Studios, how do you think the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight would go? Who are you rooting for? Oh my gosh, I think it's just because I'm an older guy, and that Paul or that Jake Paul just kind of seems like a smart ass. So I think they definitely are going like young versus old. I think that that's what this fight is about, more so than like anything else. So I think Jake Paul is like the contemporary guy, and Mike Tyson represents the older guy. And so I have to say, I want to see Mike Tyson beat the crap out of that guy. I do want to see that. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to close down. I think we made the best of it. You guys really stepped up and helped me out. Thank you so very, very much. I do appreciate that. I am going to put oodles of doodles and other stuff to link in the description, so you guys can click on that, sign up on the page, and you will be eligible with a backing a exclusive mini print for this campaign. You're only going to be able to get that print in this campaign. So sign up today, sign up now, and be eligible for that print. It's going to be a fantastic book. Here it is right here. So the files are done. There's going to be some additions to this book, new pages, stuff like that. If you are coming in now, just go back a little bit in the stream, and I talk all about it. But this is going to be a fantastic book. It's a gorgeous book, and we're going to be able to get it out to you quickly. And because the file's already done, I just have to add those new pages to it, and then we're going to go right to printing on that. So I'm looking. I got to double check my calendar, but I know I've been saying the end of this month, so I believe it's going to be the 1st of July. I do believe that's a Monday, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to launch it on the 1st of July on the King's show, on Ethan Van Sciver's show, to get it into the best light possible, so it can attract as many eyes as possible, because the key to success is getting people to see this stuff. So having said that, if you guys could, I don't share this stuff out on your social media, on your X accounts, your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever you have. It's all guerrilla marketing, and I do appreciate all that. Give this the stream a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I do appreciate that. And but most importantly, click on that link, this link right here, sign up, and you'll be eligible for that mini print. So thanks again, you guys. Sorry I wasn't able to do the Vault show because of I do believe it's probably some kind of shenanigans with Photoshop. I'll look into that, but I wasn't able to access my Photoshop. So yeah, oodles of doodles. Yeah, okay, you guys. So take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Be good to each other, and I'll talk to you Monday probably.